take your seat. We are happy to see you so numerous in this room, Sala Colonne, for this awarding ceremony of the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement to Rebecca Saunders. She's our Golden Lion for 2024. Let us start the ceremony with the reading of the motivation. Lucia Ronchetti, the artistic director of Biennale Musica, will read the motivation. English composer Rebecca Saunders is awarded the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement 2024 for her ability to investigate instrumental sound and for the intimate and hermetic poetry of her acoustic architectures. The first female composer to receive the prestigious Ernst von Siemens in 2019, the Nobel Award for Composition, Rebecca Saunders is celebrated for the attention she dedicates to the sonic microcosm, for her ability to create in the listener a private listening space, an intimate and inner acoustic realm that develops and expands the sonic imaginary. Her elaboration of sound material is at one and the same time both profoundly speculative and strongly empirical and material, linked to execution and to research into innovative performance strategies. Tom Service, in his Guide to Rebecca Saunders' Music, a historic column of The Guardian, writes that Rebecca Saunders has built entire pieces on something as seemingly small as the shift from one pitch to another, focusing the ear on minute gradation of timbre and intonation, and turning her performers into Zen masters of attention and focus. Recognized an alchemist of sound, for Rebecca Saunders, the position of every silence is as important as any note composed, a silence that becomes a compositional object, capable of bending the space where everything becomes audible, isolated and diaphanous instrumental voices in continuous emergence from the silence. Each work by Rebecca Saunders has a complex and spiral shape that turns out to be a route, an odyssey that takes the listener into a nest of sounds and makes us evolve, leaving us always different, enchanted, but always conscious. We invite Rebecca Saunders on stage. Please join us on stage. And the award is given by the president of La Biennale di Venezia, Pietrangelo Buttafuoco.
Artistic Director of the Music Department, Lucia Ronchetti, the Biennale President, Pietrangelo, Buttafuoco, and the entire board of the Biennale di Venezia for this award, for which I am honored and grateful to receive. I would also like to thank Ensemble Moderne for their wonderful performance of Mood yesterday, together with the excellent orchestra, and congratulate them on the Silver Lion Award, which they will receive on Sunday. It is an honor as a composer to be able to work closely with an ensemble of such excellence. Working closely with musicians is essential. It is not only inspirational, exploring sounds together, but fascinating to observe the intimate play between the musician and their instrument. This extraordinary physical relationship, pure drama. Composing is creating a physical thing, drawing sound out of silence, giving it context and shape, unveiling, molding, projecting, or catapulting sound into audible space, and communicating with musicians, sharing this experimental process, exploring and collaborating is an absolute necessity for a composer and deeply inspirational. So, Ensemble Moderne, thank you. My thanks too to my grandmother and to my father, the most fabulous of musicians. My thanks to Ed Atkins for joining us here, the artist and my friend. Thank you also to my dear friends from Berlin, including my friend and partner, Ed Popper, who have come to Venice to share this with me. You are truly wonderful. We will party tonight. This celebration of art in all its complexities, set on this stage of this extraordinarily beautiful city, this we cannot take for granted. How fragile this is. We live in clearly difficult times. Let us contemplate for a moment the rapidly changing political landscape just in Europe alone. I think also of what is happening right now around Berlin. Then we find ourselves on the cusp of something potentially terrifying. How fragile this is. It is easy to sink into complacency and forget what battles have been fought for us, and that our freedoms were won, one at a time. Each generation must renew the fight for the freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and we as artists for the autonomy of art. Art that is free of dogma, free of political control. Art which observes, criticizes, and reflects our contemporary society, which expresses the complexity of our emotional and spiritual world. Society needs art. We need art. Like a body needs its lungs to heave and breathe, and needs its heart to pump the blood through its veins. I, alone with my music, cannot, of course, change the world, but together we can encourage openness, tolerance, respect, and curiosity for one another, for the other, and to have the courage and audacity to face and contemplate what is right now. The theme of the music festival is absolute music. What is the power of music? It is the very absence of a specific, recognizable image in music that makes it so absolutely fascinating. Music has an almost magical capacity to imply and infer. Music gets under your skin and takes us to the very essence of feeling and thought. It can shine a light on the surface of our lives, but also light up the cracks in the veneer, take us beneath the superficial surface, and enable us to experience that which is often impossible to name and articulate. Sound rips open the surface of silence, peels back its skin, zooms in, and falls into the netherworld, seeking that which lies within. Music filters and frames our reality in all its complexity. It is deeply anchored in the present and acoustic image of our contemporary world. Music is though a physical thing, which invites us to feel, think, observe, and to succumb. Perhaps music's strength lies in that it cannot be put in a box or placed on a wall. It is indeed a miserable capitalist commodity, slipping through one's fingers, unpossessable and fleeting. Music can be physical, passionate, and expressive, and it can also express an extraordinary fragile vulnerability, the exquisite fragility and imperfection that makes us human. Thank you.
Ti danno delle poltroncine, là.